Today I want to discuss a topic of expansion to Baldur's Gate 1, first expansion, and specifically we will be talking about Durlag's Tower. Should you do it? Durlag's Tower is one of the additioning content in this expansion. The expansion was called Tales of the Sword Coast, and it added new monsters, new items, but also new specific areas. And one of the difficultiest areas of this expansion is Durlag's Tower. Durlag's Tower is a castle, abandoned, built by a very famous dwarf hero Durlag, and he built it for its own clan, for its family, but something happened. I will try not to spoil. Something happened, and he was forced to do something, and Durlag's Tower is mostly abandoned right now. But yes, and we can explore it, and we can in some parts know and try to understand what happened there, and is Durlag still alive, and what is really going on. And the question is, should you do this specific area, which is very difficult? I would say it's because we also have addition content in case of Baldurian's quest, when you need to go to the island when Baldurian ship was shipwrecked and damaged severely. And there we have a very tough werewolf boss. I would say it's the toughest for me. For example, it was the toughest. But in Durlag's Tower, we also have very difficult to defeat bosses and other monsters. But we also have quite let's say mediocre to quite difficult trials, which are difficult because you need to, for example, create a component from a couple of items and so on. So it's not that obvious, because in first Baldur's Gate we didn't have this kind of logical or semi-logical riddles, let's say. So Durlag's Tower is a really difficult area, difficult dungeon, and it has three levels above the tower and four levels of very big dungeons below. So we have three areas above, and this is the best way to explore it. First three levels above, and we also have like a courtyard when we have one greater basilisk. So it's a really tough fight if you don't know how to properly fight greater basilisks. But I would say it's worth to do it because right now I'm playing. If you are playing for the first time in Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition, you can play as you wish. But in second playthrough, I would advise to first kill Ankhex and sell their carapaces to the blacksmith in Veregost, because you can earn in that way money very fast, or quite fast, and you can buy the best items in the game, which because not all the best items are purchasable, but you can some of them are, and you can buy them quite early in the game. Then you can level up all your characters to max level, which is very good practice, because for example you can fully understand and use spells of wizards, spells of priests, and spells of druids. And spells of let's say sorcerers and wizards are the same. They just their way of casting spells is a little bit different, and the spells of but the spells of druids and clerics are different, and they are also different with each other. Some of them are very similar, or just similar, or just the same, but some of them are different. So I would advise that in your second playthrough you have a mage, or a sorcerer, a priest, a cleric, and a druid. So you have three characters, each with different kind of spells, because spells of clerics and druids, some of them are different, some of them are the same. And it's best to kill those ankheks to level up your characters. The max level is 161,000 experience points, and it is estimated that your characters will be between 8th level and 10th level. For example, thieves can, with max experience in Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition, can go up to 10th level. And then explore Durlag's Tower. For me, it was quite experience, and right now I'm playing through my another playthrough through Baldur's Gate, and I will max my characters, and then do first, even before exploring the areas in Baldur's Gate, to do Durlag's Tower, because if you are playing as a warrior using two-handed swords in Durlag's Tower, you will acquire at the end of third labyrinth the best sword in the game, the best two-handed sword in the game. It has plus 3 to Traco, which is to hit a target, and plus 3 to damage, and it has a little bit faster attack speed than normal or lesser powerful two-handed swords. And its icon and its look is really beautiful. I would say it's the beautifulest weapon, and the weapon with the beautifulest icon in whole entire Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition. Very cool looking. We see that BioWare at that times, through Dragon Age Origins, they created not only weapons which look really nice on your character, but also their icons. The icons of the weapons were, because icons are very small, yes, but they are made in a very nuanced, specific, very not cute, but really good looking way. For example, when you wear this sword, it's even its name is a little bit bombastic, but the icon guarantees you that this is the best weapon you can acquire. And of course, we have another one two-handed swords plus 3, but it is cursed and it is very difficult. You can use it only when you are playing alone as a warrior. In team, it's almost it's impossible, because you are cursed and you are berserking and attacking everyone else. But also in Durlag's Tower we have a very maybe laughable weapon, and it is oh my god, how sling. It's a sling. It's the best sling in the game, but slings are they are quite important, because for example, I'm always playing with druid Jaheira, but she's also dual class, so she's a warrior and she can use slings with a mage and with priest Viconia, and all of them the best weapon, I would say, for me, and the best weapon generally for them are slings. Why? Because throwing or missile like weapons like bows, and they cannot use bows and long bows, so the best for them is slings, really, because um, uh, ammunition to them can be very expensive, but it is very powerful. So generally missile weapons are better than melee weapons in general. They are really powerful, and unfortunately in Baldur's Gate 2 they are very weak because characters have like 8th level, 9th level, 10th level, and even they are even more powerful because at the end of Baldur's Gate 2 you can have even 50th level. Missile weapons are completely useless. They are too weak. But in first Baldur's Gate, they are really powerful, and they have very specific sound to them. I would say that sound was even better in normal Baldur's Gate. In enhanced edition, they changed a little bit the sounds of bows, crossbows, and slings and other weapons, missile weapons like darts, for example. But but missile weapons are really cool to use in first Baldur's Gate, especially because you when you are casting spells, it's better for your druid, your priest, and your cleric not to go melee. And if they, for example, are wearing staffs or maces or melee weapons, they will usually, let's say, you are ordering them to cast a spell, and they are attacking in melee. So missile weapons are really important for Baldur's Gate 1, and you will acquire the best sling in the game, the sling plus 3 to damage, plus 3 to hit, and with faster attack speed. And you also get in Durlag's Tower the best Morning Star in the game, but it is a little bit because it's also a plus 3 weapon, but it is difficult to use because you need to use also a specific helm after the final boss of Durlag's Tower to use it properly. But it is feasible to do, and you also get the best shield in the game, and it is the best because it's a great it's a big shield plus 2 to armor class, but also plus 7 against missile attacks, and missile attacks are in Baldur's Gate 1 quite dangerous. So archers are really dangerous in first Baldur's Gate, and this shield is also very important because it's the best shield for Viconia, because Viconia has a very low strength, and the only way to really enhance its strength, Viconia's strength, through entire game is to use specific ogre gauntlets in City of Baldur's Gate, but it is on Baldur's Gate you can visit in 5th act, so it's not worth doing. The best way is to give her this specific shield. It only requires 12 strength, so Viconia can use it, and it is plus 7 against missile attacks, so it's a really powerful shield. It's really powerful. In Baldur's Gate City, you will acquire also a big shield plus 2 to armor class, but plus 6 to against missiles. So this shield in Durlag's Tower is the best shield, especially for characters who have very low strength. And also in Durlag's Tower, yes, so this I would say 3 with Morning Star 4 items are the best items you can find in Durlag's Tower. You also have a Tome of Knowledge, not in the labyrinth, but in, I would say, second tower floor. But knowledge, wisdom is not a important factor. It's because you have also statistics in Baldur's Gate like strength, agility, endurance, intelligence, charisma, and wisdom. But wisdom is not as important even for it's quite important for priests and druids, but not as important as other stats. I would say it's the least it's the least useful statistic in the game on your characters. So in Durlag's Tower, and Durlag's Tower is quite tough to finish those 4 levels of dungeon below the tower, they are really difficult, but it is worth to do it. Why? Because for me, for example, I would say that mages and warriors are the best class to start the game. When you are fighting with melee, especially with two-handed sword, it looks the best, because sometimes I preferred two-handed fighting, but I would say one big two-handed sword looks really cool on your character. The specific thrusts and attacks of your character look better than two-handed, that for example dual wielding weapons and attacking with them. So two-handed swords are really, I would say, the best, especially because it's also important because you can import your characters, and even now even easier because we have another expansion to Baldur's Gate, Siege of Dragonspear. But even without it, you could export your characters to Baldur's Gate 2, and you couldn't export. You cannot export items to the Baldur's Gate 2, but you can, but they are going to Siege of Dragonspear, which is after the final battle in Baldur's Gate 1. So Siege of Dragonspear allows you to use the same weapons you were using in original Baldur's Gate, but in Baldur's Gate 2 you can import your characters. It has its own level. Statistics, so tomes are very important to acquire, but without equipment. But also you have a specialization in weapons, and those specializations are also imported through your character. So I would say two-handed swords are really good looking, cool looking, and I would say they are more powerful, especially in Baldur's Gate 2, than dual wielding. So when you want to start your journey, I would advise or mage, because spells of the mages are truly beautiful, good looking spells. They are maybe not as cool looking as modern day games, or like a little bit later game like Planescape Torment, or Neverwinter Nights, but they still, or Dragon Age Origins, but they still look really cool. And you have in Baldur's Gate 1 you can acquire spells to 5th level, and you acquire them through scrolls, so you don't acquire them automatically, like for example druids and priests. You need to learn them from the scrolls, but they are really useful, really cool looking. Like for example, you have a spell which can in a way open each lock and each chest in the game. So for example, you to some parts you didn't need a thief in your team. Of course, you need it for traps, but still you can, for example, use this spell from the 2nd level to open all the chests. Um, so I would advise to, especially if you have a very good sound system with ground, with floor standing speakers or columns. It's really cool to play with mage, but I would advise to really focus on Durlag's tower. And I also read that you can there will be a little spoilers, so you can omit this part, because final boss in Durlag's tower, it's not the final boss of the quest, but the final boss of the Durlag's tower is Death Knight. But you meet him at the beginning of your journey in Durlag's tower, and at the end. But at the beginning, it's only like a cutscene. But in this cutscene, in reality, when you are smart and know what to do, you can defeat him. He's much more powerful than at the end of Durlag's tower. But you can still defeat him and have full plate armor +1, which is the most powerful armor in the game. It's only worse than full plate armor because you cannot combine other magical items giving to your armor class with the armor which also give +1 to the armor class. So for example, you cannot use a ring +1 to armor class with this specific armor, but it is still, I would say, feasible for some characters to use it. So it's really cool that you can, for example, defeat this Death Knight, and you cannot acquire this armor at the end, because at the end when you defeat him, he has some interesting loot to get, but he didn't have its full plate armor, magical full plate armor +1. But when you defeat him at the beginning of the quest of your journey in Durlag's Tower, you can acquire this specific armor, which show us that Baldur's Gate is a really advanced game, and that in reality BioWare games, I want to do another movie about it. That Baldur's Gate games are really advanced, and they are the best because they are not infantile. I would do as a complete different video about it, but you can. I was 16 when I was playing Baldur's Gate 1, and I saw that this game is so advanced. It's so complicated, but it's also so advanced in creation of your characters. In a way you can end quests, in a way that you, for example, can kill almost all characters in the game. you can kill them even in candle skip, so in the, let's say, prologue area of the game, but then you cannot leave this area. But for me, that you can, for example, kill every character even at the beginning, and you cannot finish the game, it shows me how well designed and grounded was that game. And it was published in 1998, and it was really, I would say that only Black Isle games were in comparison to BioWare games, but this studio Black Isle is no longer with us. So let me know in the comments, what do you think about Durlag's Tower? Maybe there are some weapons, and they are, which I didn't mention, but they are not, but they are less powerful than items you can acquire, for example, in blacksmith, because we have a very powerful armor for thief in Durlag's Tower, but better one is still purchasable in Beregost from blacksmith. So I would say that Durlag Tower is quite an experience, difficult one, but especially for those who want the best shield in the game, the best sling in the game, the best morning star in the game, and the best, for me, the most important, because I would say that I would even advise you to first start the game with a warrior, because warriors are the easiest to play with, because because you are beginning Baldur's Gate on first level, so it's really difficult for mages, thieves, and so on to level up, to survive. And warriors can wear all armors, they can wear heavy armors and heavy shields, swords, two-handed swords, and so on, and they can have the biggest, the most points in specializations, which are very important, that your character would fight better, easier and faster. But if you want to fight the best sling, best shield, best morning star, and best two-handed sword in the game, and plus they are all +3 weapons. The shield is +2, but it is to armor class, it's a little bit different statistic. And +3 weapons are extremely rare in Baldur's Gate. In Baldur's Gate 1 they are extremely rare, but they are also very, very powerful. So I advise you, when you are playing for the second time, even if you are playing for the first time, even if you, for example, do other areas before going to Baldur's Gate, I would do Durlag's Tower. Let me know in the comment, what do you think about this specific dungeon, this specific area. Is it worth it for you? Is it not too difficult? Because some levels are really difficult with its riddles and so on.